Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, it's available for free on Echo, and if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, $3 a month. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, basically kind of saw the devil and passed out. And then overheard that Cynthia was feeling uncomfortable about the trunk because it had her mother's possessions and a lock of cub's hair, and I guess that's just, people taking stuff from the reservation and or dark magic or something, And we overheard Harlan speaking with the rabbit, speaking with Madame the deer. What's her name? Sorry. I can't remember everyone's names. And the trunk was owned by Harlan. And we're asked to keep discreet because, that would creep Cynthia out even more. And now we're at the lake to see what the fox guy saw. Anyways, like Emma's waves darken the sand. Towels and blankets litter the beach, along with a few makeshift parasols. I would have thought that in like the East Coast, maybe like the late West Coast, but I wouldn't think, blankets and towels and parasols in like some town in the middle of the desert, You wouldn't think of Salt Lake City to have like parasols and stuff. We have a few hours before we can expect Nick and Murdoch. Oh yeah, beach episode. So, what do you want to do until then? Not sure. He crouches on his knees, and you stare at how the light reflects off the lake. We don't have a lot of time to sit there in silence with one another. Usually, there's always something to do, or something to discuss. The idea of us just sitting there, doing nothing, watching the whorls in the water go by seems less real than any of the hallucinations or the horrors. But we spend at least an hour doing that, and I'm happy. But soon enough, William starts to fidget, and he says he needs to move around. So we follow the shoreline, wading past the crowds of playing kids and lounging couples, until the time grows late, and our minds move back to business all over again. Do you really think we'll find anything here today, William? Can't say for sure. Again, it's really weird, because my mind's like, okay, murder case. It's like, wait, but we already confessed it. Like, we haven't made anything public. We're keeping everything on the down low, but still, it's like, oh, right, that's pretty much open shut, unofficially. And now I'm just, working with him because love interest, reasons, as a side hustle. Can't say for sure. But if we don't, I'd like to enjoy myself today. Yoo-hoo! Christ. The weasel waves us over to a flannel blanket, sitting with Murdoch a few yards away. The salesman brushes the dust from his pants as he rises, striding to meet us. Good afternoon, Sheriff. William lowers his voice. I thought you said Nick was coming. Oh, he's here. He just had to take care of some business. He makes a quick motion with his hand, like he's zipping something up and down. You brought the professor, though? Gentlemen, I'm a wounded man. Clift helped me. He put together this lovely lunch we'll be sharing together. And I need somebody to carry my things, because my shoulders still hurt like hell. If you put yourself in danger for that man again, I might be forced to tell your father. Murdoch's smile draws taut, and I see a trace of teeth. Draw faster next time, and I won't have to. Y'all don't think he's a bit... Y'all don't think he has a hit on him or anything? Both of them said nothing as he turned away to look back at the blanket. Right? Whale watched the weasel lift the thermos to his face, gripping it with both hands. His Adam's apple bobs as he chugs the contents. Hey, there he is. It's the whole gang here. Is something going on? Nick. Good to see you, Sam. He still sounds upset with me, but at least he's looking at me when he talks to me now. Mostly. Nothing important. Just glad to have you lend us assistance. Cliff, could you watch the food for us? Not too closely, for all your sakes. I don't think I could hold myself back on a huckleberry jam if it's as scrummy as last year. Wait, as last year? As the last jar. Sorry. Don't worry, I intend to be back as soon as possible. Let's be quick about this. Lead the way, Murdoch. We will walk along the shoreline for about 10 minutes until we come to a valley of cliffs where the lake meets the river. We don't have much room to navigate the rocks. A misstep would mean a tumble into the river. Now I understand what William meant when he said it would be unlikely for somebody with a cart to get out here. I'm sticking close to the rock wall. I'm surprised Nick can fit on these ledges, but he's quick and limber despite his size. He crouches every few feet to look into the water and poke a claw at a few minnows. Quit that. You'll fall in. Stop pretending that I am you. I float like a duck in the water. That ain't even my point. It's over here, there. Both of us turn our heads. Ahead, there looks to be an opening mouth of a cave in the side of a wall, but Murdoch walks past it for another few yards and points to a bank on the opposite side of the river. It's like, is Nick with us because he's a miner and this is mining business, maybe? That's where I heard it all coming from. Standing right there? Certainly no sight of a cart or a cave on that side of the river. I'm quite confident that my senses are reliable. There's certainly something violent going on over there. Whether or not it's tied to the disappearances or whoever wants Cliff dead, I can't say. But I've left Cliff alone long enough. I'm heading back to our picnic blanket. We'll take it from here. The fox waves at us with the back of his hand as he passes through, back in the direction of the lake. No land bridge in sight. I don't see a great way to cross the river. The big coyote pulls off his spender straps and unbuttons his shirt. Tss. I've skinny dipped before with the other males my age through most of my life. But it feels different now, knowing it's two men I've gone off before. I'm grateful we're far away from any prying eyes between the steep canyons. Nick and I look at one another awkwardly, and William notices. William drops his pants and holds his clothes above his head, wading waist deep in the water. I'm gonna have to censor that. The two of y'all can do what you want. I'm not walking around in soggy clothes all day. Nick sighs and starts undressing. I do too, turning away. I mean, you've seen him naked. Not because I'm embarrassed, but I don't want to get a boner near Nick or Will outside in broad daylight. When the last of my clothes come off, I step in the water, and the current almost blasts me off my feet. Why didn't you say the current was strong, Will? It wasn't when I first got in. Look straight, widen your footing, and keep walking. I shake the water out of my fur as fast as I can once I get to land. It's almost like the black hurricane when Nick shakes off his fur, getting me wet again. Will, this fucking sucks. He gives me a look to shut me up. We wait on the bank for about 5 minutes. I look at Will, whose gaze is straightforward at a rock face. Then I look at Nick, who's tilting his head every so often, frowning. I feel dry enough to start putting my clothes back on. So does Nick. Will does too, but much more slow-like. His ears splayed forward, and his gaze is much more tense, like he's alert. There. There what? Will is on his feet, and his head's towards a rock face. and headed towards Rockface. It looks like he's about to walk straight into a wall. The hell is he doing? Nick shrugs at me, but he gets to his feet as well. He looks very surprised for some reason. As William looks like he's about to make a collision, he stops, sidesteps, and disappears. We follow as quickly as we can. William's voice drops to a whisper. That's our cart. What kind of place is this, Nick? I don't know. This could be a disconnected shaft. CSCG Site A. Discontinued. But I can tell that it's not seen recent use. Don't any of y'all hear that? I stop to listen. There's a wind, but there's a sound of a nearby river, and the sound of a river, but that's all. It seems like we might not be dealing with miners at all. I'd recognize that code anywhere. It's the hobo code. The coyote crouches down, his tawny tail swishing from left to right as he goes deeper into the tunnels. Did he say code? Yeah. He sure did. What does that mean? There were no sounds. I didn't hear anything earlier. How did he know to come here if he's not following somebody? I pondered this too. His tracking senses are exceptional. Perhaps we cannot detect what he can. We should follow him. Right. I can sense a sudden change in pressure of the room. The hairs on my tail stand on end. There's some sort of metal drawbridge in this room. It's suspended over a chasm that whistles with the draft rising from below. The sound as it makes is grating, like a crunching of an iron bone against the inside of their sockets, as if metal could have arthritis. It sounds like they're moving slow, but if we keep our distance, we can sneak up on them. Who's moving slow, William? Some not so nice men. Small fries, but they're using the code of a dawn I knew without a doubt. Sounds like they're camping out across the bridge. Spies of a dawn? Out here? In Echo? I know it's just technically become a city 2 years ago, but isn't it too small to attract this kind of outfit? You know what my ex-wife You know that my ex-wife came back, Sam. She could have brought them with her. Me and Nick look at one another. I'm not saying I don't believe you. Don't patronize me, Samuel. This was Murdoch's report, not mine. It's possible we're dealing with ordinary counterfeits or robbers. But there's no doubt about it. I heard them use the code of a specific family that I never told anybody about. That's not an ordinary thing to hear. Sets off alarms in my head. But we're wasting too much time discussing things when we could be crossing that bridge. Nikolai walks up to the bridge, then grabs one of the wires connecting the bridge to a bolt in the stone. He lets go, blowing his paw off. Blowing his paw off? Neither of you should use this bridge. It's not fit for use. Well, yeah, normally I'd think that too. Except I just watched 2 people cross at once. That bridge is as sturdy as can be. What? No. The support cable has rusted through. It will not hold one person, let alone 2. Must be some sort of trick. Somebody doesn't want us to cross this bridge. He said he just saw 2 people crossing, Nick. But he also said he heard 2 people talking. We both heard no such thing. The more that I think about this, William, you asked me to be here today because of my knowledge of the caves and mining infrastructure. Yes, I did. Then listen. My paw is covered in rust. I know that what rust smells like. Everything you say makes sense. But I know what I saw. We can only catch him off guard if we're quick. Nick and William don't usually argue. They tend to agree pretty much on everything. But it's weird to see him so tense on a matter so simple as crossing a bridge. Either way, this don't feel very productive, and I don't want them to fight anymore. It makes me feel too sad. Damn it, I was hoping they wouldn't do this to me. Well, I'm wondering if this is going to be a thing where it's like no matter which route I choose, I have to choose somebody. So I guess we're going to trust William. Hopefully this doesn't lead to our deaths. If this were anybody else, I'd be skeptical. But William says he knows what he saw. So I'm not interested in hearing two men argue about this anymore. There's an easy way to be done with this. I climb up the steps to the bridge. It's noisy, but it feels sturdy. Sam? Samuel, no! What are you doing? I wanted to show you that I believe you. There were two people who ran across here. The metal slat below my foot is perfectly sturdy. I take another step. The second one stabs into my foot, as shards from broken glass do. Do you guys not wear shoes? But then, the pressure and pain goes away. Because there's no pressure at all. The weight of my body drops me through the space of the bridge. I'm falling. I scream while I hear Nick and Will run toward me. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Help me! I can barely speak because the sensation of falling makes me feel like my stomach is in my own throat. It feels like I'm going to be falling forever. Tears roll up my face as they disconnect from me, leave me behind like everybody else. I just want to stop falling, and then I do. My legs snap underneath me, but it doesn't matter because there's something sharp inside me now. I can taste what was my stomach, burning as it wells up inside my mouth. I hear somebody laughing in the dark. Okay. Huh. Didn't think there was going to be a darkest corner kind of thing. Woof. Damn, I'm gonna have to censor that too. Probably should have saved. I don't know, I would be going towards this thing right here, but I guess, you know, maybe from now on I should be a bit more careful about what I'm gonna do. I don't know, I just thought this was one of those other things. I don't doubt for a second that what William saw, what he thought he saw. But I know for a fact that I've seen impossible things living in the shithole. Either the bridge is fine and Nick imagines he sees rust, or there aren't any people on the other side of the bridge. Fine, just test the damn thing with a rock if you're so skeptical. I don't see any nearby. Well, he pulls a baseball out of his pocket. If I was ever get any use of this anyway. He tossed the baseball, underhanded at the bridge. There's a big impact from the bounce, and then a crunch. We all stare as half the bridge crumbles away from the barest amount of applied pressure. What the hell's going on? If they didn't go that way, then where'd they go? Whoever they were, they are not here now. I have noticed how uneven the shaft folds are, and it makes me nervous. This tunnel will cave in time. It would not be smart to stay here. And I will drag you, kicking and howling, out of here, if that's what I must do to save your life. William closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. Save your strength. We're done here. Sorry for dying in the darkest of timelines. Then he doesn't say anything else and turns around. We follow him out of the tunnel. We walk forward without talking much, because I'm dead. Nick my stomach's in my throat. Nick looks like today aged him another year, and William hasn't had the time yet to lick his wounds. We strip, then we get to the river again. There's no shyness now, just a bit of numbness. When we get to the other side, we sit together in silence, letting the sun and dry air get rid of the wetness again. Hey, Will? Yeah? I just want you to know that you did nothing wrong today. Throwing that ball in the thing. It isn't true, but thank you. The mines are not the world you know. The world you know is people. Thank you for being my friend. Will lets out another loud sigh, looking down. You're welcome, but I think I was a lousy friend today. Wrong. I would stay to argue, but you're both still naked, and I'm very hungry. We'll see you both back at the picnic blanket. We will say our short-term farewell to Nick, as he let the rest of the river water dry off. William leans back against the rock wall and points his muzzle to the sky. I made a fool out of myself, Sam. I'm sorry you're not used to it. That pulls a smile on his face. And it puts, guess you're rubbing off on me. Ooh woo. You sure? You don't tend to ask for that. This smile is bigger now. Filthy thing to say. I think I like a little bit of dirt. And I know you well enough by now to think you do too. I rest my cheek against his. I expect him to push me away with his paw, but he just sighs real loud and pushes his cheek against mine. He wasn't kidding that he's sensitive. Now he's staring between his legs. This too now, huh? I can tell he's putting in a tremendous amount of effort to get soft again. Seriously, Sam. What's wrong with me today? Well, witches. I hear stories about gases in the mines. Witches. I just gotta press it. It's definitely witches. Boy, did you just say witches? Yeah. You know. Spell waivers. Bag hags. Dancers with the devil's playground. It wasn't witches, Samuel. That's fucking stupid. Mystics? I wish you could take this a little more seriously. I expected talking to... Okay, yeah, let's go back to the thing. Let's just be actual productive. Apparently, they can make you see things that aren't real, and that's just the fun gases. No gases and fun gases. No gas is a fun gas. Well, there's a kind we breathe, and some can make you sound funny. Say saw a clown do it once, but yeah, the worst ones can kill you. Mines are dangerous, especially condemned and abandoned ones. We should probably stop waltzing into them, expecting that we won't get hurt at least once. Maybe we should have brought a canary, or Professor Tibbets, so he can condemn us when we're acting crazy. That man is too much when he's sane and sober. I can't imagine how stressful it would be if he were the one losing it. I think the dumbest thing I did today was throw that ball. Gonna miss the hell out of it, but it just made me so angry to look at it sometimes. Just wanted to throw it. Wanted to hurt it. As if a damn baseball could feel pain. So I had no control today. What goddamn wash of a day. I'm not even one to crash a pity party, But what mattered today is knowing there's something to Murdoch's story. There's a cart in a cave. And you did follow someone in. You couldn't have found that mine exit otherwise. I was thinking about that myself. I don't have an explanation other than there really being somebody there, which makes it so frustrating all over again. You'll figure it out. You always do. And he's got a boner again. It's why I don't bother lying to you. Well, take it as a compliment. Hate to say it, but I can tell. Huh? Oh, for Christ's sake. I'm laughing at him now. Just a moment. Baseball. Think about baseballs. Hurting baseballs. Alright, there we go. I'd have thought of you proper for these. Well, at this rate, I'm gonna have to charge you. Let's just get dressed. I've been naked in broad daylight for too long. Heaven forbid people start seeing true things about us. Start saying. Heaven forbids too much. That's why it's your thing, not my thing. Well, it could be everybody's thing. Don't ruin the mood, please. The sun is much brighter by the time we get back to the picnic blanket. But the sky is still blue. Welcome back. I died. The two of you took a while. The truth is, Sam had to calm me down after I made some mistakes today. So did he? I'm here, ain't I? Well, that's impressive feat. Our Sam? Our William. Lots of rocks rattling around my head today is all. Nick's been filling in for us. It really did connect to a mine? The location did, at least, at the very least. I couldn't manage to get a lead on any potential crimes or involved suspects, but I'll be scouting the area with Todd in the immediate future. Yeah, be careful. I think I just need to try to enjoy the rest of my day. You know, I've never actually seen you relax in public. Murdoch's right, though it's hard to think about circumstance where Williams ever relaxes. He's stiff, ooh, even when I'm taking care of his balls. Call it a force of habit. What do you say we invite Will and Sam to the stag tonight to loosen up? What was the all-male dive you were speaking about earlier? Nick made a humming noise. That may not be the best decision. Now that Nick brings it up, I think my presence wouldn't sit well with a bunch of wobblies. Nick makes a humming noise again. Wallabies? I've changed my mind. You can be our friend first, and a sheriff second for a single night. Don't make trouble, and you won't find trouble. I should not tell you to not wear your badge. Obviously. You can say you're arresting me if anyone gets suspicious. You're all acting as if I'm already ready to go. Of course, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a nice cup of tea at a homestead. After all, not everyone is meant to be the life of the party. I've been to plenty of parties in my life. It's just this particular one which could be considered unseemly of me on multiple levels. Why is that? Scared to try something new, William? I haven't heard you call him by his first name before. Because he hasn't. There's a first time for everything. William laughs. And there's also a never. I don't put much stock on nerves. It's just exciting to see you in a different light, Saul. You know, in any other context than when my father is forcing me to run errands for him. I apologize for that. But I'd rather work with you than deal with him. No offense. None taken. That reminds me, I brought a pinhole camera. Since this is one of the few times we can gather in the daylight, I just wanted to take a photograph together. Learning a production process of photography paper yesterday was nothing short of fascinating. fuck is he even saying? Thank God I never have to learn any of that. I can take the picture. Guys, taking the picture means you never have to be in the picture. How does this thing work? I pick up the weird wooden box, which feels heavier than it should be. Make sure you get you angle it carefully so that your face isn't in the shot. I don't know what he means, but alright. Press the camera against the rock wall and open the slat for about 30 seconds. And then... oh right. He can't answer me for 30 seconds. Now then, close the slat and hand me the pinhole camera. Easy. Here you go. Lux pulls out a black canvas cloth and what looks like a heavy metal box full of liquid. Hand the box and he goes inside it. Then he goes inside of it. It looks real stupid. You okay in there? I was too excited to wait to see how this one would turn out at home. I can see that. The picture's done. Already? I bet it came out beautiful. He hands me a small piece of paper to me. Thumbnail time. Fuck. Murdoch dismissed me with this showy little hand gesture and walks over to the Cliff's basket. It doesn't look like there's much else we can do today, so we spend the rest of the day relaxing. I look around, and it seems like everybody's had their fun, but I can't help but feel like most of the day was wasted. Nick looks like he's finally eaten enough, resting against a big rock. Murdoch is combing his hand through his tail. Cliff is drawing, and William is... well, he's staring at the water, probably stewing about the cave. He does look way too much for somebody his age. He does look that way too much. That was weird. My styrofoam fell off the wall. Makes him seem decades older than he really is. So I sit next to him and stare with him. And just what are you up to? Just join you, I suppose. Well, I'm just studying the shoreline a bit more, thinking about those tunnels. I'm just staring at the water, wondering how many people have died here since the dawn of time. Thinking about wet things again. I feel my eyes flutter from the audacity of the comment. My ears are twitching now. Kind of pissed off how funny that was for something so rude. Lots of things are wet, William. He gives me another look. Christ's sake, he's not gonna drop it, is he? So, you've been working non-stop. Don't laugh, damn it. Not here, William. There we go. Why are you doing this right now? Because I like it when you laugh. You come back to life when you do. That's strangely sweet. Therefore, I don't entirely trust it. Keep that up, and you two will start to have more in common. Who? I tilt my head and look past his shoulder. I glance in the direction of Mr. Tippets again, who's squinting at his book and framing a landscape with his stubbly little digits. That wipes a smile off his face. Hardly. I feel myself smirking now. You're so sure? He pinches the bridge of his snout. Yes. I'd never put you and anyone else in danger like that. People like us, I mean. I shrug at him. People like us always end up in danger anyhow, don't we? Well, that's what's nice about Sam, everybody gets to be in danger all of the time. Yet you keep saying the Windy City is more exciting. Well, sure, but all of you have to avoid there is upsetting the wrong people, and then you can do whatever the hell you want. Bitter much? Look who's talking. It's just, all I'm saying is that maybe something a little more exciting would be good for me. The good kind of exciting. The kind that keeps you busy. Don't you miss that? I take a look at the murky water again, and it seems a little more stagnant. I miss a lot of things, Sam. But some of the days I look awful like this one. It sounds like he's about to say something else, but he doesn't. But in all seriousness, Sam, it's time to head back to the station. Today went nowhere, so I want to start fresh and early tomorrow. So let's go then. The big Gowdy pushes his hands together, getting ready to shout. Up and at 'em, boys. Me and Sam are going. Nick sits up, dusting off his jeans as he rises. Well, that's nice while it lasted. He looks at me, then looks away. I guess he's still upset with me. His gaze shifts to Will again. Mr. Tibbets should sleep at the station if he's still a target, correct? Yeah, Will? This way, you can keep an eye on him keep an eye on him at all times. First actual time I yawned today, I think. William crossed his arms. If he needs assistance, then he's welcome for the night. The weasel holds up his paw. Now, enough doting. I can handle myself fine, thank you. And I live close enough to the station that it would make little difference whether I spent the night there or not. Plus, I don't mind watching over him tonight. More like I'm watching over you. Grazed or no, with that wound, you're still a proper invalid. These two are getting awfully chatty with one another. Sounds like you're just volunteered to change my bandages again. Professional fencers are no strangers to blood and nicks, you know? Nick put his hand on Will's shoulder. Do not be discouraged by today. You worked hard. But sometimes our heads work harder against us. Useful lesson, no? Something like a look of realization spreads across Will's face. Shoot. Speaking of hard work, I won't be able to see you until the weekend, won't I, Nick? Likely no, unless you make use of me after 7 p.m. and before 11. Wait, you go to work at 11? Until later, Will. He turns and looks me over. Samuel. His voice is a bit stern with me. But at least he's still talking. He's talking to me, I suppose. Yeah, later. We're off then. And with that, we're off of this Let's Play where I freaking died. Oh, in Chapter 3. Nice. I forgot that there's chapters in this game. Can I? Oh, yeah, I can save here. Cool. So anyways, end of this Let's Play. Sorry for being dead. I don't know. I didn't think this game was going to have one of those pitfall things where, I mean, even literally, where you can be like, hey, you choose this thing and you're dead. Though I guess you might also have that with Dastra. But that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. And I was kind of thinking that, like, I don't know, it's going to, no matter what, it was going to be like, hey, if you do it really, I'm going to like you more. It's a better ending. But nope, the ending was not better because it was death. A horrifying death. Well, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, because I like comments, and you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please subscribe and check out this that grow. Please remember to spay your animals, help control the pet population, and until next time, say me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Oh, and if you want to play this game, free on itch.io. And if you want to support the people that make this game, or get the more up-to-date version earlier, Patreon, $3. Anyways, thanks and see ya.